So if you do have a block, this is one place that it might be helpful. If you want to sit on your knees, you can place the block between your heels and then sit back. Have your strap close by. We're not going to start with it, but have it close by. To create a little bit more space in your ankles, if you are on your knees, you can kind of lift your ankles, or if it's more comfortable, you can also prop your shins up on a blanket and let the feet kind of hang off the edge of the blanket in the back. It's also perfectly acceptable to just sit in a cross-legged position. It might help to elevate your hips either on a blanket or on a block. It just allows the spine to lengthen a little bit more. So we'll just start with eyes closed, or if you prefer, you can keep them lightly open, gaze forward on the floor as if you're not gazing really into anything in particular. Resting your hands on your thighs in a position where your shoulders can rest above your hips. And draw your chin slightly towards your throat to lengthen the back of your neck. And just take a moment to allow yourself to arrive into this time, this place. And checking in first with your body, noticing what you're feeling. If you have opted to sit on your shins, perhaps you're feeling a little tightness in the knees, the ankles, the hips. Noticing the shoulders. So just checking in with your body. And then begin to bring your awareness to your breath. And every time we bring our awareness to the breath, the initial response is to change the breath, resist that. And just notice your natural breath. So noticing if you're breathing in and out through your nose, your mouth, or a combination thereof. Noticing the lengths of your inhalations and exhalations. Noticing the smoothness or the quality of the transitions between the inhalations and exhalations. Begin to notice as you bring your mind closer to the breath, is there a slight pause between the inhalation and exhalation? Today's practice is focused on the neck and the areas of the body that help to bring more space into the neck. So the shoulders and the upper back are connected to that. The other thing that's connected to that is the fifth chakra, or the throat chakra. This is the chakra that is associated with sound. And so for part of our warm up today, we're going to use sound vibration. Oftentimes when we feel tension in the neck and the upper back, we can open up a little bit into creating more space by creating vibration. So with the eyes closed, take a breath in. Exhale out. And on your next exhale, we're going to use the sound Om to begin with. So inhale. And Om. Om. And then let it go and just breathe. Notice any kind of sensation that you feel in your neck, the throat, as you use that sound. And then open your eyes. And bring your fingers, clasp all of the other fingers, keeping your first finger and your thumbs long. You're going to bring the fingers first to your chin. Use your chin or your fingers to kind of start to push your chin down and then up. And then moving the fingers into the space of your throat. And again, just kind of aiming the fingers up into the crease of your throat. And we'll do Om again here. So inhale, exhale. And the next time we'll use the sound Om. So inhale and exhale Om. Om. Notice if you can feel the vibration with the fingertips. And then release the hands back to the thighs. Keep your chin tucked. Turn your head to the right. I'm not going to mirror you for this. So turn the head to the right. Draw the chin towards your throat. We're going to start to use some other sounds. And these stretch the vocal cords. So they're chosen for a reason. So the first sound we're going to use is E. So inhale, exhale. As you say E on the next exhale, you're going to bring the head back to center. So inhale. E, bring the head back to center. Return the breath to normal. And turn your head to the left. Chin is still tucking in towards your throat. And this time we're going to use the sound oo. So inhale, exhale. Inhale to prepare. And as you use the sound oo, bring your head back to center. Ooh. Good. You turn the breath to normal. So the next time we're going to gaze up with our eyes first, and then let our head, nose tilt up towards the sky, eyes look up towards the sky. So not taking it back too far. This time we're going to use the sound ah. So inhale. And as you exhale, ah, bring the head back to center. Return the breath back to normal. Exhale the breath out and take your head down. So chin is drawing towards your throat. So it's taking it down towards your neck and then drawing slightly up towards your throat. And as we come up, we'll use the sound na. So inhale. Na. Good. So we're going to return to these sounds throughout the practice as we use them with movement. But now we're going into opening up the shoulders. We did a little bit of this last week, so we're going to return to it again. So grab your belt wide. Just start to move into these rotations with the shoulders. So taking, easing into it. So maybe your shoulders don't have the flexibility initially to go into that full rotation. You may need to lighten up on the belt or lengthen up on the belt if you need more space. Or if you feel your shoulders can take a little bit more, you can bring the hands closer together. Noticing if as you bring the arms up, are the ribs moving forward? Try to keep the ribs moving down or the bottom of your rib cage moving down toward the top of your hips. So decreasing that flexion or extension in the spine to create the flexion in the shoulders, and instead try to keep it in the shoulders. So just a couple of more times. And then bring the arms up over your head. So with your right hand, start to take the hand back. You'll see your left arm go towards your ear. So allow that to happen. And then with the right hand, start to pull back and down a little bit more. So you'll feel more flexion in your left shoulder. Again, notice the rib cage. Draw the chin towards your throat. Gaze forward. and use a little bit more tension on the belt with your right hand, just to create a little bit more of a stretch in your left shoulder, and not pulling it to a point that is not comfortable for you. So I have lots of availability to flexion in my shoulders. You may not. Come back up and start to take the left hand back first. And then once it's back, you'll feel the right arm start to move towards your right ear, and then start to pull the belt towards the floor. The right arm will come closer to your ear. Again, notice the lower rib cage, drawing the chin in and up towards your throat. So keeping length in the back of your neck. So we are focusing on the neck and trying to reverse that tendency to shove the chin forward, which is that head forward position. So drawing the chin in and up towards your throat. Breath is just natural and normal. Bring both arms over the head. Take them down. Take them all the way back and through. Lift up, and we'll do the shoulder stretch one more time. So right hand starts to move back first, and then start to pull the right hand down as it brings the left arm up towards your ear. Chin drawing in and up, ribs drawing, bottom of the rib cage drawing in and down. So keeping slight awareness of the front of the core for support. And the lower core and the upper core, so the neck muscles that support the cervical spine, kind of doing the same thing. Lift both arms up. Start to take the left hand back, pull it down, let it draw the right arm beside your ear. Find the front connection, chin in and up, lower ribs down and in. And bring both arms up, bring them forward. You can release the belt. You may need it for other things, but still kind of take it towards the front of the mat. Also block, if you're on the block, take it towards the front of the mat, because if you need it, that's where you will be. Come onto your hands and knees, tuck your toes under, spread your fingers, take your chin towards the throat. So lengthen the back of your neck like you're rounding your neck spine, and then continue that rounding as you push your hips back towards your heels, rounding your upper back. So find flexion in your neck spine and your upper back spine. And then as you inhale, shift forward and do the opposite. So lifting the head, taking the chin towards the throat to lift the head, and then start to lift the top of the collarbones towards your chin as you find extension in your neck spine and upper back spine. So just moving between this. So rounding upper back and neck as you sit your hips back towards your heels. You can kind of push your hands down and forward to find more of that rounding. And then inhaling, drawing chin first towards your throat, then lifting your head, lifting your collarbones, keeping a slight awareness of tone at the lower ribs. So just continue this a few times. Finding some ease to it, but also awareness of keeping a slight tone of that area of the front of your body to keep the core slightly engaged. Next time you come forward, come into neutral. So untuck the toes, point the toes back. Draw the chin towards your throat, lengthening the back of the neck. So the neck is nice and long. You're gazing between your fingers. Start to turn your head to the right. And then start to move your right hip out to the right as you look towards your right hip. So creating a C curve in the right side of your body. Come back to center, gaze down, chin in and up. Start to turn your head to the left. And then again, push the hip out to the left and turn the head as if you can look at your left hip. And you may be able to. Come back to center, chin tucked. Turn the head first and then wag your tail, gaze back towards your right hip. Come back to center, chin draws in and up. Turn the head to the left, push the hip out, gaze. Come back to center, tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the floor, press the hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. Press through your hands. Isometrically twist your thumbs towards your first fingers. So you're creating this as if you're twisting your mat apart. Lift high up onto your toes, bend your knees slightly, and then push your sit bones up and back. Keep the length in your spine, move towards straightening your legs. One at a time, turn your fingers out. So thumb is now pointing towards the front edge of your mat. Fingers are pointing out towards the outside of your mat. Start to roll the creases of your elbows towards the front of your mat, and then reach your hands and grab the outer edges of your mat. Start to pull your mat apart as if you're trying to tear your mat apart. Let the crown of your head grow heavy. Let your head grow heavy. Keep pulling the mat apart. And then shake your head no. Shake your head yes. So just releasing tension that holds your neck still. Let the head just hang towards the head, growing heavier and heavier. Keep pulling the mat. And release the edges of the mat. Lift the head, gaze towards your thumbs, and then come up onto your toes and walk to the front of your mat. You can bend your knees as needed, coming up onto fingertips as needed to come into a bent knee forward fold at the front of your mat. Grab your opposite elbows and hang. Again, let the crown of the head reach towards the floor. So releasing tension and gripping in the neck. Release the elbows. Bring your hands to your shins. Start to draw your chin towards your throat as you lift up, spine parallel to the floor. Draw chin towards throat. Lower ribs drawing down and in towards the tops of your hips. So finding a nice long spine by engaging the front of the neck and the front of the core. Exhale, hinge and let go. Let the crown of the head grow heavy. Bring the fingertips into your hip creases and reach the elbows up towards the sky. So feeling your upper back draw away from your head. Then start to draw your chin towards your throat. Come up halfway, lower ribs in, chin in, and lift all the way up. So we're going to move through a couple of half salutations with this awareness of bringing the chin in as we lift up into that half forward fold and then coming all the way up. So hands beside your hips. Turn your palms out. Inhale, reach your arms over your head, lower ribs stay down and in. As you exhale, bending your knees, hinge from your hips, fold forward, drawing chin in, letting the crown of your head fall towards the floor, hands to the shins, draw chin in and up, lift halfway up. Reach the crown of the head towards the wall in front of you. Exhale, fold. Keep drawing chin in towards your throat, lift all the way up. Arms come over the head, maybe gazing up towards the hands, keeping front of the neck engaged. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Hands beside your hips, turn the palms out. Inhale, reach the arms over the head. Chin lifts, nose lifts. Bend the knees, hinge from your hips. Chin draws towards the chest as you fold forward. Hands to shins, chin towards throat, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Crown of the head reaches towards the floor. Chin towards throat, reach as you come all the way up, arms over the head, nose lift up, gaze up, hands to heart center. So adding on, hands beside your hips, palms out. Inhale, reach the arms over the head, Let the eyes lift, nose lift, gaze up, either knees bent or straight, chin towards throat as you fold. Inhale, chin towards throat, halfway lift. Hands to the floor, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Lower your left knee to the ground. Keep your toes tucked under. Walk your right foot forward so you're getting a little bit of a stretch in your back leg, back front of your hip. And shin is, or knee is above your ankles. Walk your hands to your knees and lift up. So start by pressing hands down, drawing your lower ribs down and in, lifting your belly off your front thigh. So we want to stabilize here. So roll your outer right hip down and draw the outer hip back. Reach the arms out in front of you. Bring your elbows as close together as you can, palms facing your face. And then open arms out to the side. Keep the lower ribs down and in, taking the elbows as far back as you can. So creating a little bit of openness in the front of the chest. Chin is still drawing in and up. Bring the forearms together, palms face your face. Open. Lift the top of the collarbones, lower ribs down and in. This time as you bring it forward, wrap your left elbow on top of your right elbow crease. So you're coming into kind of Garudasana arms. If you can, bring your right fingertips into your left palm. If not, then just keep the arms straight and stretch across. So you're feeling a stretch in the shoulder. Lift the elbows shoulder height and slightly draw the elbows forward. Keep drawing chin towards throat. Inhale, unbind the arms and bring the arms over your head. Exhale, bring the hands behind your back. Clasp or interlace your fingers. Bring the fist back towards your left heel. Keep bringing lower ribs down and in, chin towards your throat. Then start to gaze with your eyes up, nose up as you reach your fist towards your back leg. Reach the arms over your head. Hands on either side of your right foot. Take your left foot towards the right edge of your mat. Hands on your right knee, and then rotate forward, facing the long edge of your mat. Walk your right foot out to the side, toes point forward. Take your left hand, bring it behind your back. If you can, interlace your fingers. Otherwise, just keep the hand in the crease. If you're able to interlace your fingers, bring your right elbow pointing back and drawing the right shoulder down. Slowly, chin towards throat, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, gazing up and over to the left. So feeling a stretch on the left side of your neck. See if you can normalize your breath. Gaze forward and lift your head up. Turn your head and look over your right shoulder. Gaze down and then drop your chin towards your right collarbone. So we're stretching the scalene muscles, often a place where our neck muscles get tight and can cause some nerve sensation or just general neck pain. Gaze slightly up, lift your head, come back to center. Release your arms come over your head. Turn your right toes towards the front of your mat, bend your right knee, hands come on either side of your right foot, left toes tucked under, press back, downward facing dog. Press your hands down, spread your fingers wide. Twist isometrically, thumbs towards fingers. Feeling your outer armpits roll towards the floor. Crown of the head reaches towards the floor. Start to draw chin towards throat. So creating some awareness of control in the front of your neck and shift forward to plank. Inhale here. Keep chin drawing towards throat and exhale back down dog. Keep drawing chin towards throat. Inhale, shift forward plank. Keep drawing chin towards throat. Exhale, push back down dog. Lift up onto your toes. Lift your head gazing between your thumbs and either step, hop, or walk to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale, chin towards throat, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Lift chin towards throat, inhale, lift up all the way. Lift eyes, lift nose, lift head towards hands, hands to heart center. Hands beside your hips, turn the palms out. Inhale, reach up, let the eyes go first, nose lifts, chin lifts. Exhale, either knees bent or straight, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Crown of the head reaches towards the floor, so neck grows long. Draw chin towards throat, hands to shins, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, hands down, step, right foot to the back of the mat. Drop your right knee to the ground. Walk your left foot forward. So you get a nice stretch of your hip flexors and knees above your left ankle joint. Crawl left hand up, right hand up, lower ribs down and in, chin towards throat. Bring the elbows, shoulder height, palms towards face. Inhale, open up. Lift the collarbones. Stretch the elbows as far back as you can. Lower ribs down and in. Bring it forward and open. Bring it forward. Open one more time. And then this time, cross. Left elbow over right. Bring right fingertips into the palm of your hand, or stretch the arm out to the side. Lift elbows, shoulder height. Start to pull the elbows forward, feeling the stretch between your shoulder blades. And turn the breath to normal. Release the arms, bring them up. And then clasp hands behind your back, bringing the opposite finger in front. Start to punch the fist towards the back foot. Keeping lower ribs drawing down and in, lift the collarbones towards your chin. Draw chin towards throat, start to gaze up. Start to lift the nose. Keep reaching fist towards hips or heel to find more of that extension, but keeping the back of the neck long. So you get more of the lift by stretching the crown of the head back than by dumping into your spine. Inhale, arms come over your head. Turn your right foot towards the opposite side of your mat. And left foot is out to the side. Straighten the leg out to the side. So toes point forward. Bring your right hand behind your back. Left hand either clasp the fingers. If you're able to clasp the fingers, bring the elbow pointing to the wall behind you and draw a shoulder down the back. Slowly start to tilt your left heel towards your left shoulder. Gaze over to the right and up towards the ceiling. So if you notice when you bring the eyes into it, you find more of that kind of stretch sensation in the scalene muscles. Turn the eyes forward, lift the head. Turn the head, chin, towards left shoulder. Start to gaze with the eyes down, let the chin fall towards your left collarbone. Gaze down, breathe. Start to gaze up, lift the head, turn back to center, release the arms, arms over the head. Turn your left toes towards the back of the mat, hands on either side of your front of the mat and shift back into downward facing dog. Press hands down, twist out, roll outer armpits towards the floor. Draw chin towards throat. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Keep chin drawing towards throat, press back down dog. Reach crown of the head towards the floor, chin towards throat. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Keep chin drawing up towards your throat. Exhale, press back down dog. Keep feeling length on the back of the neck. That's created by that chin towards throat. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Drop your knees to the floor. Toes point back. Lift your head by drawing the chin towards the throat. Start to gaze slightly forward. Elbows bend towards your hips. Lower your hips. Lower your belly. Lower your chest. Stack your hands and rest your forehead on the floor. Front of the feet press into the floor. Pubic bone presses into the floor. Lower ribs staying down and in. Keep your elbows where they are and just simply bring the hands forward as you lift your head. Chin drawing towards your throat. We're going to turn our head side to side, but we're going to use our awareness to notice how far we should turn our head. So as you turn from side to side, the chin is staying towards the throat. So you're not really looking much higher than right above your elbow when you take it out to the side. So just notice what range of motion you have accessible in your neck. And turn it back to center. Release your hands underneath your shoulders. Press up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under and press back into downward facing dog. Press the hands down, twist. Outer armpits roll towards the floor, creating, it should feel like that creates space between your shoulder blades, so broadening between your shoulder blades so that you can then reach the crown of the head towards the floor and slightly towards your hands. Inhale, lift up onto your toes. Lift your head, chin towards throat to gaze up between your thumbs. And then bend your knees and either step or hop to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Knees bent, bring your hands to your shins, chin towards throat, press hands into shins as you straighten your knees and bring your spine parallel to the floor. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Crown of the head reaches towards the floor, back of the neck long. Start to draw chin towards throat as you lift, long spine all the way up, arms over the head. Gaze up with your eyes, lift your nose, lift your chin. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're kind of building on what we've created with still some awareness of the neck and the shoulders. We're going to add some sound this time if you want, just returning to that idea of vibration of sound, creating more space. So hands beside your hips. Turn the palms out. So when we do this forward fold, if you want to add in that sound of ah on your way down, just kind of experiment with that. So palms out, ribs down and in. Inhale, reach your arms over the head. Look up with your eyes, lift your nose, lift your chin. As you exhale, ah. Inhale, hands to shins, chin towards throat. And again, exhale, ah. Hands on either side of your feet. Bend your knees and step your left foot to the back of the mat. Rotate your left heel down and in. Right heel will be aligned with your left heel and knee above your ankle joint. So you may need to walk those toes forward slightly. Bring your right hand to your knee and press up. We're coming into Virabhadrasana 2. So hands to your waist. Draw your left hip back slightly and reach the tailbone towards the floor. So leveling out the pelvis. Right knee is above your ankle joint. Bring your left hand behind your back, wrap it around, maybe taking it into the right hip crease, or at least in your back. Turn your right palm up and out to the side. Inhale, reach the arm up beside your ear. Palm rotates to face the wall behind you, and then drop the hand between your shoulder blades. Start to reach the elbow up towards the sky. Look up to the right with your eyes first. Then draw your chin towards your throat. Reach the crown of the head to the left. And then let a little bit of softness come into the neck. If this is uncomfortable, just drop your chin towards your right collarbone and gaze to the wall over to the right. Reach the right arm up. As you exhale, side bend, right elbow to your right knee. Keep the left hand behind your back, looking straight forward. Start to rotate your right rib cage towards your left, drawing the front of the rib cage down. Draw your chin towards your throat. Gaze with your eyes first up towards the sky. Maybe you stay here. Maybe as the chin draws towards your throat, you can rotate your head up towards the sky. So ribs rotate first. Lower ribs down and in. Chin is still drawing up towards your throat. Eyes gazing up. Turn your eyes forward, head forward. Reach left arm, right arm forward. Come up, straighten your right leg. Gaze towards the wall to the right. Release the left hand out behind you, side bend. Right hand comes to your shin. You can slide it down. Left hand comes to your left hip. Rotate right rib cage towards left rib cage. Rotate collarbones, same direction, chin towards throat. Eyes towards the sky, maybe nose follows. So kind of using your awareness of your neck and what we've been working on. Can you create rotation? Keep drawing through the crown of your head. Lift left arm up towards the sky. Point palm towards the wall above your head, and then reach your left bicep beside your ear. Stretch the fingers, stretch the crown of the head. Turn your eyes forward, turn your gaze down, bend your right knee, hands on either side of your right foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Press hands down, twist out. Outer armpits rotate towards floor. Lift sit bones. Draw chin towards throat and then reach the crown of the head towards the floor. Let the tension go. You can shake yes. You can shake no. Still creating that space between the shoulder blades. You can either rest here in downward facing dog. You can rest in child's pose. Or you can shift forward to plank, drawing chin towards throat. Keep chin drawing towards throat as you exhale back down dog. 2 more times. So moving with that awareness of keeping both the lower ribs drawing down and in and the chin towards throat. So those 2 front body cores engaged to keep the neck from over tensing and the back from over tensing. Wherever you are, come into downward facing dog. Lift up onto your toes. Lift your head and look between your hands. Bend your knees and step or hop to the front of your mat. Hands to your shins, chin towards throat, lift up halfway. Exhale, hinge forward, draw the crown of the head towards the floor. Keep chin drawing towards throat as you lift with a long neck, coming all the way up. Palms up, gaze up, nose, chin up, hands to heart. hands beside your hips. This time we're going to go the opposite. So we went ah down. We're going to use that na when we lift up. So hands twist out. Inhale, ah, na, lift your head. Exhale, hinge. Again, inhale, na. Exhale, hinge. Step your left foot back to the back of your mat, or right foot back to the back of your mat. Rotate right heel down and in. Bring your left hand to your left knee and lift all the way up into Virabhadrasana 2. Bring right hand behind your back, wrapping it into your left hip crease. Tailbone is reaching down, pressing through your feet. Turn your left palm up. Reach the palm up, and it faces the wall behind you, and then drop hand between your shoulder blades. Start to draw chin towards throat. Turn your eyes to the left. Turn your head to the left. And start to reach the elbow up and over to the right. Look up, maybe lifting head up. Keep breathing. Gaze down towards your nose. Lift the head. Keep your right hand where it is. Bring your left arm up. Side bend, bringing your left elbow to your left knee. Start to rotate left rib cage up towards right, ribs drawing down and in. Chin towards your throat, so make the back of your neck long. Gaze with your eyes up towards the sky. And then noting how your neck feels, can you turn your head to look up? So you're reaching through the crown of your head, reaching the back of your neck long. Your chin is moving towards your throat and towards your right collarbone. Release. Right hand, reach it towards the wall. Lift up. Straighten your left leg. Side bend, bringing your left hand down your left shin. Right hand to your hip. Start with your rib cage. So rotating your left rib cage towards your right rib cage. Drawing chin towards throat. Gaze up towards the sky. Then as you lift or reach the crown of your head to the left, chin towards collarbone, can you gaze up with your eyes? And then maybe turn your head. Right arm up. Palm facing over to the left. Maybe reaching arm beside your ear. So as the crown of the head, or as the fingers reach, the crown of the head is reaching in the same direction as your fingers. Turn the eyes forward. Turn the eyes and the head down. Bend your left knee, hands on either side of your left foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Twist hands out, outer armpits, roll towards floor. So that creates the space between your shoulder blades. Crown of the head is reaching towards the thumbs and then towards the floor. Shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Again, option to rest here, rest in child's pose, or take more of a movement. Inhaling chin towards throat as you shift forward to plank. Keeping that chin tucked, exhaling back to down dog. Do this 2 more times. Finding that connection to the front of your core and both the neck and what we automatically refer to as the core. So if you're in child's pose, go ahead and lift back up to downward facing dog. Everyone shift forward to plank. Either bending knees to the floor or keeping the plank, chin tucked, ribs down and in, and lowering all the way down to the floor with chaturanga. Stack your hands the opposite way. Rest your forehead on your hands. Stretch your elbows long out to the side, creating space both in the front of your collarbones as well as between your shoulder blades. Press the front of the feet into the floor. Press the pubic bone into the floor. Lightly lifting your lower belly off the floor. Draw your chin towards your throat as you lift your head off your hands. So chin's drawing towards your throat, gazing down towards your hands, or maybe even slightly below your hands. Keep your head where it is. Bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Start to punch your fist towards your feet, lifting your chest. Keep drawing chin towards throat. Lower belly off the floor, perhaps lifting feet off the floor. So Shalabhasana. Chin still tucked. Reach the crown of the head up towards the sky. Keep breathing into the bottom of your rib cage. Each exhalation drawing the lower belly off the floor. Release hands to the floor beneath your shoulders. Tuck the toes, firm the thighs. And either lower the knees and press through hands and knees, or lift up to plank and then back to downward facing dog. Press hands down, twist out. Draw chin towards throat, reach the crown of the head towards the hands and towards the floor. Shift the weight into your right foot, left foot. Lift your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Come up onto your right toes. Bend, or left toes, bend your right knee towards your chest. Gaze forward, step your right foot up between your hands. Drop your left heel down and in. Bring your right hand to your knee. Chin towards throat, lift up. Turn both toes to face the long edge of your mat. Hands to your hips. Take the toes out, heels slightly in. Bend the knees as deep as you can so that your knees are above your ankles. So you may need to widen your stance. Tailbone reaches towards the floor, so hips turn up, ribs turn down. Arms out to the side, palms face up. Wrap, right elbow over left, fingertips into your hands. Lift, elbows higher. Sink a little deeper. Keep pulling elbows forward, lifting them shoulder height. As you exhale, start to tilt to the right and then shifting towards midline and coming back up through the left. 2 more times. So moving with awareness. So now we're creating more of that space between the shoulder blades. Come up. Straighten the legs, turn, toes turn in, arms over your head. Reach up. Chin draws in, gaze up. Keep your knees straight or bent, hinge forward. Hands to the floor, underneath your shoulders. Come up onto your fingertips, chin towards throat. Lower ribs down and in, so finding the 2 front cores. Bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Punch your fist back, lift your hands higher, fold. Allow the shoulder blades to fall towards your head. So letting all tension go. And notice what that feels like in your neck. We're going to turn your head side to side. You may feel limited range of motion. And then punch your fist towards the sky, taking your shoulder blades down your back, creating more space. And then again, let your head move. So notice the space created. Release your hands. Come up halfway. Bend your right knee. Reach with your left hand and grab either behind your knee or down anywhere between your knee and your ankle. It will depend on flexibility. Let your head fall and then walk your right hand forward. So you feel this rounding in your upper back. Maybe move towards straightening your right leg as you turn your head to look under your right arm. So chin is still drawing towards throat. See if you can create a little bit more rounding in that left side of your shoulder and upper back. And then let your head go. Release your right leg. Bring both hands underneath your shoulders. Turn your right toes to face the front edge of your mat. Walk your hands on either side of your right foot. Lift your left heel. Step back, downward facing dog. Press hands down, twist out. Either staying in downward facing dog, child's pose, or chin tucks as you shift forward to plank. Keeping the chin tucked, pressing back, downward facing dog. 2 more times. If you're in child's pose, join us on this last one. Chin tucked, neck long, shift forward, plank. Either knees to the floor or keeping chin tucked, elbows reach back as you lower all the way down to the floor. Keep your hands underneath your shoulders. Drop your forehead to the floor. Take your shoulders up towards your ears and then roll the shoulders down the back. Front of the feet press down, ribs start to draw down and in towards the front of the hips. So the front of the core protects the lower back. Draw your chin off or head off the floor by taking your chin towards your throat. Lift up a little higher, higher. When you can no longer lift with your upper back, press down through your hands. Lift up to cobra. Elbows still slightly bent. Chin drawing towards your throat. Turn your head, look to the right. Come back to center. Turn your head, look to the left. Come back to center. Lower down. Either coming up through hands and knees or tuck the toes, lift the knees, press up plank, and back down dog. Take a couple of breaths. See if you can find first the awareness of the neck and then letting the neck go. So finding that kind of balance between contraction or being able to find strength, and then within that strength, being able to let go. Shift your weight to your right foot. Lift your left leg up and back into 3-legged dog. Lift up onto your right toes. Draw chin towards throat to lift your head and look up between your hands. And then step, left foot up between your hands. Rotate your right heel down and in. Left hand to your knee, come all the way up. Toes point towards the long edge of your mat. Then toes out, heels in, sink, goddess pulse. Arms out to the side. Tailbone points down, lower ribs down and in. So keep that awareness of the front of your core, neck. This time, left elbow comes over right. Lift elbow, shoulder height, stretch it forward. Keep the chin tucked. We're gonna go to the left 3 times. So finding where in your mid back is that movement. Next time you come up, bring the arms out, straighten the legs, turn the toes forward, either knees straight or bent, chin tucked, fold. Crown of the head reaches towards the floor, so neck long. Fingertips to the floor underneath the shoulders, press up halfway. Chin tucked, lower ribs down and in. Hands behind the back, interlace your fingers the opposite way. Punch the fist towards the wall behind you and lift as high as you can. Chin tucked, exhale, fold forward. Let the shoulder blades go, dropping towards your head. Move your head, notice how that feels. And then punch the fist up towards the sky, shoulder blades down your back. And again, test. How does your head move when your shoulders are more relaxed down your back? Release the hands to the floor. Lift up halfway. Bend your left knee forward. Reach across with your right hand, grabbing anywhere between your knee and your ankle. Start to walk your left hand forward as you straighten your left leg. Turn your head to the left. Chin towards throat. Start to round your right shoulder blade. So you're feeling more of a rounding in your right side. Let your head completely go. Release your left ankle. Hands underneath your shoulders, press up. Walk your hands on either side of your left foot as you turn the toes to the front edge of your mat. Hands to the floor. Press back, down dog. Again, either resting in down dog, resting in child's pose, or with awareness of the front of your body. Shift back and forth between plank 3 times. And as you experiment with this plank, with the front of the neck core engaged and the front of the belly core engaged, just notice the difference. If you're in child's pose, come up to downward facing dog. Inhale, everyone shift forward to plank. Either knees, chest, chin, or all the way down, chaturanga. This time, scooping forward and up into upward facing dog. Chin towards throat. Reach the crown of the head up. Eyes gaze up. Nose looks up. Chin is still towards throat. You're keeping neck long. Lower the knees to the floor. Press back. Child's pose. Forehead to the floor. Arms coming down beside your legs. So fingertips reaching towards your toes. Let the upper back round. So tucking your chin so that where you feel your forehead on the floor is closer to your hairline. Nice deep breaths. Bring the arms forward. Walk your palms as far forward as you can. Lift up on the hands and knees. Walk your hands a little further forward. Toes stay touching, knees walk out slightly. Come up onto your fingertips. Tuck your toes under. Keep your chin drawing up towards your throat as you lower your hips towards your heels. Keep the front of your rib cage slightly engaged as you lower your forehead to the floor. Keep pressing down into your fingers. And then depending on how your neck feels, you can stay here or lift your head off the floor, taking your chin towards the throat. Start to take your eyes forward, your nose forward, and gaze with your eyes up between your hands. Still keeping a slight awareness of that lower belly core with the ribs down and in. And still a slight drawing of the chin up and in. Bring your palms to the floor. Right hand under your shoulder, left hand onto your shoulder. Sit your hips back, lift your knees off the floor, round, drop your head between your knees. Lower your knees to the floor. Cross your ankles, sit your hips back. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Reach your arms forward, chin towards throat. So chin is locked. You've got that core locked chin. Lower ribs down and in. Start to round your lower back. Mid back, chin still tucked. Maybe looking down towards your belly as you lower one vertebrae at a time down to the floor. Unwinding your neck at the bottom. Arms out to the side, T to the body. Turn your head to the right. Let all tension go. Bend your knees, feet on the floor, hips to the right, drop your knees to the left. Bring your knees up, center your hips, take your nose straight up. Drop your eyes to the left, drop your head to the left. Press your feet into the floor, lift and move your hips to the left, drop your knees to the right. So letting any tension that you still feel remaining in your neck completely let go. So we're no longer trying to control our neck, we're trying to kind of ease into this final movement here with a sense of ease. Turn your knees back to center, shift your hips back to center, turn your head to center, and slowly come down into Shavasana. Opting to either keep your arms in this T position, or maybe taking them up, more like a starfish, or down beside your hips, palms up. So keeping, and maybe it's natural here. Maybe after all that work, you already have that natural length of the back of the neck creating by the chin tucking in and up. You can rest and just breathe. So keeping the breath nice and quiet. Feeling it move deep into the lungs. That nice ease of the expansion of your rib cage. And slowly bend your knees. And drop your knees to whatever side. And just feel that trickle up your spine as you move onto your side body. And then using your hands and your arms, slowly press yourself up to a seated position. hands resting on your knees. Just pause and feel, noticing where your head rests naturally after that practice. Noticing any remaining tension or gripping. Notice where that is for you. Is it the back of the neck? Is it the muscles on the front of your neck? Is it your jaw? Is it the hairline or the suboccipital area? And just notice if there's anything that you learned that you can bring into this just easy sitting pose to bring more ease. And slowly bring your hands to heart center and bowing your head towards your heart, bowing into yourself, acknowledging self. Thank you for your time. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste. Thank you.